And here at Penn State University in central Pennsylvania, a crowd less than capacity has gathered for a college football game against Wisconsin. But their thoughts have been elsewhere the last 10 days, watching, crying, and talking about the terrorist ambush that took thousands of innocent lives. Today, these great fans will raise their voices in support of a country we all love and vow to defend. Let's join PA announcer Jeff Brown.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you add your voice to that of Terry Dowdy as we all join to create a resounding performance of God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans white with foam.
ABC Sports presentation of college football returns after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
On Wisconsin.
The American dream. We refuse to let anyone take it away. So GM announces interest-free financing on every new car and every new truck, now through October 31st. Believe in the dream. Believe in each other. Keep America rolling.
For a great car at a great rate, call or click Thrifty.
I don't know what my mother calls me more often, Jimmy or...
You must be hungry.
At her table, there's always a helping of this, a taste of that, and you get as much as you want, which is how Olive Garden brings you their never-ending pasta bowl. Have Alfredo with penne, or how about bolognese meat sauce with fettuccine? You pick your homemade sauces, you pick your pastas, you get all you want. It's all delicious, and it's just $7.95. Tonight, I'm having it with my brother. Mom calls him...
Did you eat yet?
Olive Garden. When you're here, you're family.
For a great car at a great rate, call or click Thrifty.
On the Sunday Picture Show, true love comes in many disguises.
Okay.
Jim Carrey and Cameron Diaz, The Mask, ABC Sunday.
Quality, affordability, success. King's College in Wilkes-Barre has a reputation for excellence and results. See for yourself at our open house October 7th. King's honored nationwide by U.S. News, Barron's, Yahoo, and the Templeton Foundation for academic excellence. Our challenging way of learning makes us different from other schools. Intensive career planning, internships, and study abroad. Student-centered community, generous financial aid, 36 majors, 21 sports. Open house October 7th. Call King's College, 888-KINGS-PA, or visit kings.edu.
At Cephalon Associates, we only represent people like you, your mother, your father, your sons or your daughters. But we never represent insurance companies. As one of the largest personal injury law firms in northeastern Pennsylvania, we know how to fight for you. If you have a question about any type injury, call us. The phone call is free, the advice is free. We're Cephalon Associates, the people's law firm, and we like it that way. And remember, we know how to fight for you.
just announced. Special 0% financing on America's favorite 2001 and 2002 Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs. Nothing beats 0% financing. Choose from America's favorite vehicles. Drive home a Ford car, truck, or SUV with 0% financing. Nothing beats 0%, and nothing beats the money you'll save. See your local Ford dealer today for this limited time offer.
Storm Tracker 16 Future Doppler, only on WNEP TV, the news station.
No person in college football was impacted more by the September 11th tragedy than Joe Paterno here at Penn State. He grew up in Brooklyn, and his grandfather ran a trucking company in southern Manhattan. I asked Coach Paterno about preparing a young football team in the days that followed.
I tried to carry on a dual responsibility. Number one, to make them aware of exactly what was happening, because I think it's something that's going to have a tremendous impact on their lives, and I wanted to try to help prepare them for that. And I also wanted to not deprive them of the opportunity going out there and have a little fun playing football.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Brent Musburger with Gary Danielson. Gary, we heard Coach Paterno, but what about the youngsters? Certainly they were impacted by the tragedy like everybody else.
Brent, that's probably been the most asked question to me about, can these kids focus on a football game that all they've been through? And I think it's going to be a little bit the opposite. They're going to go back and do something they're comfortable doing. Sure, they're going to make mistakes, but we've seen plenty of that in football games. We've always done. But I think they're going to go back. They've been playing it since they've been 9 or 10 years old, and they're going to be comfortable.
Well, here come the Nittany Lions. It has been 21 days since Joe Paterno's team last played. They were beaten by Miami in their season opener. For the Badgers of Wisconsin, well, they have dominated the Big Ten in the 90s. 3 Rose Bowl titles for Barry Alvarez and the Badgers. Well, Gary, let's talk about a couple of receivers that we have been talking about coming into this game. Brian Johnson for Penn State may have stepped up big time against the Hurricanes.
Brent, and that really a story here at Penn State. A year ago, they struggled so much when they had a tough season at receiver. Brian Johnson struggled himself, only 4 catches, but he emerged against Miami. He's potentially a huge big play receiver, a high school nearly 7-foot high jumper. He's what they need out there.
Unusual to talk about a receiver with Wisconsin, but Lee Evans leads the nation in receiving yards.
Yeah, the most confident football player on Wisconsin is Lee Evans, and he should be. He makes big plays. That's why there's not a lot of first downs and long plays, because he's making all the big plays at wide receiver, and that's good news for Wisconsin.
All right, well, the players down on the field are lining up on their respective hash marks, and we are about ready for the Penn State marching band, which will take its position down on the field, and both teams will be here for the national anthem.
Please rise and remove your hats as we honor America. Join in singing our national anthem with the Tri-Service ROTC and the Blue Band.
The players now meeting in the center of the field to shake hands before Wisconsin and Penn State open the Big Ten season.
How'd this happen?
I said I wanted to go hiking tomorrow, not bring home Charo.
Hey.
It's not even close.
I heard what I heard. Do you have a cellular phone?
Yeah.
It's the static. Here. Sprint PCS built the only all-digital, all-PCS nationwide network, so all your calls will be clear.
Thanks.
Sir, ma'am, Charlie.
Bye-bye, Cutie.
2,500 minutes for $39.99 from Sprint PCS.
The American dream. We refuse to let anyone take it away. So GM announces interest-free financing on every new car and every new truck, now through October 31st. Believe in the dream. Believe in each other. Keep America rolling.
Tuesday, the premieres start here.
Greg.
Tom and Greg, the one-hour season premiere cliffhanger episode you've been waiting for. Spin City, the moment you thought would never happen.
I'm back.
And from the creator of NYPD Blue, Tom Everett Scott and Emmy Award winner Kim Delaney.
You want to play hardball with me, I will break your skull.
You already tried that once.
Philly. Dharma and Greg Spin City and the series premiere of Philly. ABC Tuesday, the premieres start here.
Demons, the premiere is lots of fun. Demons come and we wanna be home. Come on! Come, Mr. Demon Man and your friend Chucky. Demons come and we wanna be home. It lasts 1 hour so you can scream. Demons come and you better be home. Check it! Demon way. My wife and kids is coming back to your home.
My Wife and Kids now premiering Wednesday at 8/7 Central on ABC.
Welcome back to State College, Pennsylvania. I'm Jack Aruden. There is a football story here as well today. Joe Paterno comes to within one win of equaling the legendary Bear Bryant's record as the winningest coach in Division I football. There's been a lot of things that have happened in Joe Paterno's time here at State College. The most notable to me, Brent, is the fact that 10 presidents have sat in the White House.
Yes, and the first time he was up on Air Force One, he flew with a vice president, and that would be George Bush, the father of the current president, George W. Bush. So Joe Paterno trying to equal Bear Bryant's legendary mark of 323 wins. And on the other side, here is Barry Alvarez, who has really put together a wonderful program in Madison, Wisconsin, capturing 3 Big Ten championships. Adam Espinoza kicks it off to the deep men. Eddie Drummond and Eric McCoo are back deep for Joe Paterno as the Nittany Lions will go on the attack here to start. This is the only Big Ten game scheduled today, so this is the Big Ten opener. And Espinoza will put the ball in the air, and we will be underway at Penn State. This is Drummond from the goal line. Brings out beyond the 20-yard line, and Matt Seneca comes out, and we asked Matt Seneca about the first series against the Badgers.
I think the big thing is to move the ball a little bit down the field, get a couple first downs, get some confidence in yourself that you know you can move the ball on this defense, and not try and give them too much confidence to build off of.
So Matt Seneca with Omar Easy behind him in the backfield. Lined up in the I formation. Here's your first play. Omar Easy fakes the end around and battles his way back toward the line of scrimmage with Joey Bose, the free safety there. And Wendell Bryant, the All-American defensive tackle, talked about setting the defensive tempo early in the game.
Our coaches always talk about setting the tempo for the game, and if you come out and if you smack somebody in the mouth, the first play, you're going to let them know, hey, it's going to be a long day, and I'm going to keep doing this for 60 minutes.
Yeah, it is a long day when you line up opposite 77, and Seneca with a nice fake to the fullback, runs for a first down to the 37-yard line. So the rest of our Penn State offensive lineup looks this way. We'll rotate 3 tailbacks here with Eric McCoo and Larry Johnson also playing behind Omar Easy. Big focus here on the offensive line of the Nittany Lions. The tackles had a lot of trouble against the speed rushers of Miami. Felder and Schmidt need to hold up, and Chris McKelvey expected to play a lot of tackle too. But Seneca's nice run for a first down moves the ball out beyond the 35-yard line, and now on a roll right. First pass is incomplete. The big tight end John Gilmore, the intended receiver. Now defensively for the Badgers, they'll line up this way. Wendell Bryant, he's the 5-star, the All-American, and he's the cornerstone. But the 3 linebackers feature Nick Greisen, who led the Big Ten in tackles a year ago. The newcomer in that defensive backfield will be the target today, Scott Starks, the freshman. When Terrell Fletcher, of course, has moved on to the National Football League. Second down and 10 for the Nittany Lions. There's Starks, number 2, setting up on the left side of the defense. Off motion, Seneca straight back. Comes in underneath to the running back. A penalty flag thrown by the back judge as Omar Easy caught his first pass of the game. And we have our first flag. Our referee is Dick Honig, who is working with a new umpire today. His umpire was injured seriously in the Nebraska-Notre Dame game that Gary and I covered.
Crack back that time, blocking below the waist. You can't come from a wide receiver spot and crack back on and block down below the waist.
So the first mistake of the game, if you will, costly to the Nittany Lions. Now the new umpire, we mentioned the story, and Percy Munn, we want to send along our best. He's out from Detroit. He'll miss the season, but Roger Haber will be the umpire today.
15 yards from the spot of the foul. Remains second down.
Very costly, huh, Gary?
Yeah, it really was. Penn State trying, as Seneca told us, he's trying to move the chains. He doesn't want a 3-and-out. He's already accomplished that. That elbow badly hurt. It was ulnar nerve. Is that what it was, Brent?
Yeah, it was the ulnar nerve.
Ulnar nerve. He was slammed to the turf. He got pounded in that game against Miami. When you talk to him, he just says, "I just like a little time. I think I'll be fine."
Tight end over on the right side of the Penn State formation. And a penalty flag. The middle of the offensive line may have jumped the snap count. The linesman throws his second penalty flag here on successive plays.
And this is a little bit about early in this game. This is like an opener for Penn State, really for both teams. They haven't played since September 1st. And
offside on the defense, 5 yards, still second down.
But I don't think we should blame any of this on what's happened in the last, 13, 14 days. I mean, we saw the Notre Dame-Nebraska game making tons of mistakes early in the game. It's early in the season. This is still, even though it's a Big Ten opener, it's like the first game for both of these teams.
Eric McCoo out of Red Bank, New Jersey, number 8, checks in, and he will be flanked out to the right in this formation as Penn State lines up in a shotgun on second and long and prior to the snap. So now we've had 3 successive yellow flags.
Shotgun formation that was so long to talk around here.
Snap, false start on the offense, 5 yards, still second down.
Seems like all of the teams now are spreading the field. Everyone's incorporated it. And Joe is trying to, the more he yells on the sideline, what he's trying to do is get his team back to normal.
Larry Johnson in the backfield. He is lined up right next to the quarterback. McCoo's still in as a wide receiver. So both on the field, and this is Johnson, and the delay did not fool the Badgers. That's Delonte McGrew out of Brooklyn, Ohio, making the stop, number 43.
The tough matchup inside with Wendell Bryant. Last week, as you mentioned, it was the 2 defensive ends for Miami. But this week, the athletic ability of Bryant inside is going to be a tough matchup. If you ask me what's different about Penn State today than maybe when they were winning championships, I think their offensive line is not as athletic as it used to be.
This is a 3rd and 24 for Seneca and the Lions. He'll throw it far downfield. Incomplete.
Boy, that could have been some
Lions forced a punt. Drummond was working deep and very well covered by the freshman Starks. So they test the youngster from St. Louis right off the bat, and number 2 holds up defensively.
4 vertical was the call that time. All 4 receivers went straight down the field, 2 of them on the hash marks and 2 of them wide, and Seneca picked out the throw against the freshman.
David Royer and the Nittany Lions are hoping that he punts well here today. They need it. Good return man is Nick Davis. Great coverage that time by Penn State. Number 11, Tony Johnson, a wide receiver who grew up right here in State College, down the field to make the play, and a good one. So when we come back, it'll be the Badgers' first possession. Timeout.
Sometimes my sore shoulder decides where the ball goes, but my doctor tells me for pain and stiffness, just keep moving with Advil. It's strong enough to let me control the pain and the ball.
Take Advil and take control.
Some guys take their car's performance a little more seriously than others. That's why they turn to Valvoline SynPower, synthetic oils, additives, and cleaners.
After Dad's stroke, he had to go into a nursing home.
Well, it was okay. It was nearby.
Yeah, but it wasn't like home. After a couple of months, we could bring him here and take care of him. He likes it better here. Right, Dad?
Food's better.
Flexible benefits for ongoing care from Mutual of Omaha.
Social life is not much.
Helping families take care of one another for over 90 years.
A season premiere so big, it had to be a 2-hour movie event. The Practice, ABC Sunday at a special time, 9/8 Central. Tuesday, the premieres start here.
Greg.
Dharma and Greg, the 1-hour season premiere cliffhanger episode you've been waiting for. Spin City, the moment you thought would never happen.
I'm back.
And from the creator of NYPD Blue, Tom Everett Scott and Emmy Award winner Kim Delaney.
You want to play hardball with me, I will break your skull.
You already tried that once.
Philly, Dharma and Greg Spin City and the series premiere of Philly. ABC Tuesday, the premieres start here.
A 74-year-old coach acting 50 years younger and working hard.
And the play he was upset was the pass play at the end. That the whole bench at Penn State thought that Starks had bumped the receiver, but you think a younger coach gets flagged right there, swinging that around? I think a little respect for Joe. He gets to speak his mind.
Brooks Bollinger, the starting quarterback for the Badgers of Wisconsin. Number 5 settles in out of Grand Forks, North Dakota. And on the delay, comes right away with Anthony Davis, who breaks a tackle and bolts into Penn State territory. And Bollinger was asked by Jack Arute, what about the first series against the Nittany Lions?
Set the tempo of the game, and every time we're out there on offense, have consistent drives and hold on to the ball. You know, and just continue to grind away and pick up first downs. And just, I think consistency is a very important thing for us, and I think that's something I'd like to establish on, the first drive that I'm in the game.
He's also a good runner, and after that initial first down, he keeps the ball. We take a look at the Wisconsin skill players here, and there are some good ones. Lee Evans leading the nation in receiving yards. He has become the go-to guy for Bollinger and quarterback Jim Sorgi. Now the offensive line, inexperienced, but Al Johnson. A lot of NFL scouts have been paying attention to Johnson, who's one of the best centers in the nation and the cousin of Ben Johnson, the left tackle. The first pass is completed to Evans. Fumble! The linesman indicating that the Badgers jumped back on it. So the loose ball recovered by the receiver himself, and there is Evans from Bedford, Ohio. That's the same high school that produced Chris Chambers, who's now in the National Football League after being a wide receiver for Alvarez with the Badgers.
A little different look for this Wisconsin team. If you're used to watching Wisconsin football, look at this. 3 wide receivers, 1 back, 2 tight ends, 2 receivers. They're trying to spread the field more and still run the ball.
And spread formations around the nation, especially at Northwestern, have provided running room. Bollinger in trouble trying to dance out of it. Saves the day. First down at the 30-yard line. I thought for a moment we might have a penalty flag against the Badgers' offensive line, but they moved right on the count. Finney making the stop for the Lions.
And this is exactly the offense that Barry Alvarez envisioned with Brooks Bollinger right here. An athletic guy, you can see inside, real quickly beaten inside, and Bollinger reacts to that pass rush and makes the defense pay. That's what the spread offense is designed to do. Get yourself an athletic quarterback who can save you with a bad play.
Davis looking for daylight, picks his way and breaks free again. That is twice that the Nittany Lions have not been able to wrap him up. Israel, the safety, making the stop. So let's meet this defense, having difficulty right now. The strength of it's the front four, Jones, Adams, Kennedy, and Haynes. But what they really need is an Arrington. And haven't we seen that so far here today, ladies and gentlemen? The linebackers have been under fire already in this game. They have a new free safety after the Miami game. Sean Mayer's first start. Now the Badgers move on their first series into the Nittany Lion red zone.
Look at this, first down shotgun into the red zone.
And Davis twists his way inside the 15. Anthony Davis from Plainfield, New Jersey. He's a speed back, a one-time track man. And they had to go get an actual track scholarship athlete up in Wisconsin here at practice to try and emulate Anthony Davis. Try to give the Nittany Lion defenders some speed to look at, but they didn't get the right fella, did they? And Chad Coons is in there with Davis in that backfield. Play fake, Bollinger's a beauty. And he throws for the first and goal to Chad Coons out of Bellevue, Ohio, the senior brother. The other one is Russ Coons. He's the junior fullback.
Chad Coons is just going to slide right out there. A little bootleg play. That's easy to work. There's those inexperienced linebackers that are just popping up, and what a brilliant first drive here for Wisconsin.
What did I ask Tom Bradley, the defensive coordinator, yesterday in our meeting?
That's how they get exposed. Will Coons get the ball?
They have only thrown to him once coming into this game. Bollinger on the keeper. Battles his way inside the 3-yard line.
Well, Coons is a 4-5 guy, but that little pitch and catch right there, you could get a tackle to catch that one. That's a very safe call. So far, Brian White, offensive coordinator for Wisconsin, just has this Penn State defense completely off balance as Miami had them in their opening drives.
Now Russ Coons, the junior member of that family, steps into the backfield. He is offset to the right, so that could be the power part of the formation. Bollinger slips and he's rolling the other way for the touchdown pass. Marcanelli, the tight end from Addison, Illinois, puts the Badgers on the scoreboard on their first drive of the day in Happy Valley.
It's a different world in college football. No one is going to try to pound each other anymore. You're going to have to cover all 5 eligible receivers. Here's the guy right here, slam and go out. All the action going one way. Bollinger going back, and look at it. Basically covered, but open enough to get you your yard down on the goal line.
Now Mike Allen. And he hits the crossbar. No good.
I think it was blocked.
Was it blocked?
Yeah, I think it was blocked. Right up the middle.
So remember that. A blocked extra point. Anthony Davis, as the Nittany Lions let him bounce outside in that run, and finally brought down by the defensive back. Then again, Anthony picking his daylight. Badgers lead it. Timeout.
The American dream. We refuse to let anyone take it away. So GM announces interest-free financing on every new car and every new truck, now through October 31st. Believe in the dream. Believe in each other. Keep America rolling.
like simple better than complicated. You like quick better than slow. You like easy better than hard. So now pay with SpeedPass at both Mobile and Exxon. It's fast, it's free, and it links to a check card or major credit card you already have. Call toll-free or visit speedpass.com. We're drivers too.
Question about DirecTV?
Yeah, I hear this thing gets like an insane amount of sports channels.
Hey, hon. What's up?
You're absolutely right, sir. With DirecTV, you and your family can enjoy wonderful educational channels together.
I'll let you guys talk.
Here's the pitch.
We know how you feel about DirecTV, and that's why you'll get DirecTV installed in 2 rooms with 2 receivers for just $49.99 after mail-in rebate. Circuit City, we're with you.
Gary, here's the block.
Yeah, with Sam Crenshaw right here, Brent. Mike Allen, number 97, the freshman kicker. Looks to me like he's a little slow. Crenshaw gets the elevation on an extra point. You really shouldn't get that one. That's a decent protection, and Crenshaw looked like LeVar Arrington on that one.
He sure did. That used to be LeVar's specialty.
Exactly.
So the tight end, Anelli, scores the afternoon's first touchdown, but Penn State certainly had its spirits lifted with that blocked extra point by Crenshaw.
A beautifully called drive, though, wasn't it? Penn State completely off balance, and the inability of the linebackers to make any plays has popped up already in this game.
The Badgers have to be very alert. They let Fresno State return the second half kickoff for a huge touchdown last week, and Drummond is going to bring it out. And great coverage, bad decision inside of the 20-yard line. So ABC Sports presentation of college football brought to you by Chevrolet. If only everything was as dependable as a Chevy, Chevy will be there. Circuit City, we know how you feel. That's why we're here. Circuit City, we're with you. Mutual of Omaha, providing insurance and financial services, and Mobile Speed Pass, today's way to pay. On a gorgeous afternoon in central Pennsylvania, the Nittany Lions down a touchdown. Omar easy on a draw. Picks up about 4 yards on the play with McGrew making the stop. And let's get our first update of the day. Let's send you to John Saunders in New York.
Brent here with the Coors Light update. Boston College against Navy. Navy a couple of weeks ago, their worst defeat ever at the hands of Georgia Tech for Brian Madden. 49 yards to Jeff Gaddy. They score first for their first lead of the season. Brent.
It's a great day to be pulling for the Naval Academy and the Military Academy. Army also with the game. They too are an underdog. Omar easy inside the 20-yard line. That's a great play by you-know-who. Wendell Bryant, the senior from St. Louis.
Yeah, this is the guy. He's the best athlete on the field, the best pro prospect on the field right there. Number 77, middle of your screen. Watch him run right across the head of that offensive guard right there. That is just bad offensive line play. I'll give it to Bryant. He's a good athlete, but you got to slow him up more than that, or you're going to end up the whole day throwing screens and draws and bootlegs, because if you can't run, there's nothing left of the offense.
Nittany Lions need 7 yards here. This is third down. Third downs are going to be huge in this game. Badgers defense facing Seneca from the shotgun. Looking downfield. Penalty flag, and that should give the Nittany Lions first down. Eddie Drummond, the senior wide receiver, he was the target on the play. There it is. That'll keep it alive on third down, and the Nittany Lions will take it. And so the lobbying on the other side of the field by Jopa pays off this time.
By the defense, 10 yards from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
It was a corner blitz that time, and Joe Bose had him all of himself, and he had to grab on because it was good protection up front. Seneca had plenty of time to throw. He had man-to-man coverage on the safety, and he went at him. It was a good read by Seneca.
Ball at the 29-yard line for Seneca and the Nittany Lions. Here comes the end around. Drummond looking for daylight. Wow. He cannot beat Bose, the senior from Villa Park, California. Comes up from that safety position to make the stop.
You called it, Brent. Gary's game breakers this week. I think it's going to come down to third down conversions in this game. Both offensive coordinators, both head coaches talked about it. Neither team has done very well so far. That means on first and second down, get in position, your runs have to gain 4 yards or more. You can't have losses, and which team gives up the fewest big plays will be huge. We'll watch all 3 of those storylines.
Second and 13 for the Lions. Got an open man underneath, and the ball is dropped by Bryant Johnson, who was troubled by the dropsies last year. They thought it was cured against Miami. There's a buzz in the crowd. We've had 1 touchdown in the game, and it has been Brooks Bollinger, the junior quarterback, hitting his tight end Marcanelli, the senior from Addison, Illinois. A blocked extra point sitting on 6-0, a dropped pass by Bryant Johnson, and I'm sure the offensive coaches for Penn State can only shake their heads, and now they even call a timeout here, facing a 3rd and 13. So a shaky start for the Nittany Lions, and they trail Wisconsin by 6. Timeout.
Thanks, Mike. Thanks, guys. See you tomorrow, all right?
Lunch is over. Buy a Coors Light?
Sold.
Sold? Now that's music to this banker's ears. Listen, I've already offered a lot more than this little bar is worth.
I'm not selling. Build your condos around us.
I don't get it. What makes this dive so special?
This bar's packed every night with people who love their Rocky Mountain Cold Coors Light.
Rocky Mountain Cold? Whatever. Hey, moved to Colorado. I want this place. Nobody's gonna stop me. Not you or your beer.
Bar towel.
The Duke?
I'll ask the questions. What time is it?
Time for me to leave?
And?
Coors Light's on me.
Here you go.
Okay, I had that coming. Next round's on the Duke.
Like heck it is.
Let the games begin. Millionaire Sports Edition continues. Layla Ali returns to the hot seat.
She be stinging. You like that, huh, Charles?
Monday Night Football is back. Washington versus Green Bay at legendary Lambeau. The toughest night on television. Monday at 8/7 Central, only on ABC.
Drew Carey says, always follow doctor's orders.
You just stay away from wild dancing, cigarettes, and rock and roll. You'll be just fine.
You got it, Doc. Except for your season premiere where you love plenty of rock and roll. Sugar Ray, Uncle Cracker, and hot babes. Drew Carey's Back to School Rock and Roll 1-hour season premiere. Wednesday, 9/8 Central on ABC.
Penn State's new receiver coach is Kenny Carter, who was down at the Citadel. He has been much more aggressive with the wide receivers here at Penn State. He has to be unhappy by that Bryant Johnson drop, and now they figure to put it up again. Seneca looking for daylight, and the big man is right there. Number 77, Brian making another stop, and the Nittany Lions are forced to punt. Jack, a little bit more on the Kenny Carter story.
Well, Brent, when Kenny Carter came here, he brought some of that aggressiveness as you talked about. One of the things that he instituted for all of the receivers is a dropped pass in practice requires push-ups. It's gotten to the point now where when they drop the pass, they just hit the ground and do them.
Well, watching from behind Laurier, remember Nick Davis is back. This is a high punt with a penalty flag and a fair catch. A good punt, and there is a penalty flag back at the 15-yard line. We may have a personal foul on this, but it was 4th and 14. If it's a 5-yard variety, not going to matter. That was a good Laurier punt. He held up his 5 fingers, so it indicates that they would like not to take that, you would think, although we have to wait and see. Maybe Joe thinks he can pick up more in field position, but let's see. Royer had a good punt that time.
On the defense, penalty is declined.
Yeah, they'll decline it. That was a good punt.
The first time Wisconsin came right up the middle. This time it comes from the outside, and it was incidental, I think, and I think a good move strategy-wise to just take the penalty because there was no run back there. Penn State, I think this is a huge drive for the Penn State defense right now. They've been on their heels. I don't know if Tom Bradley, defensive coordinator, needs to blitz a little bit to try to get them a little momentum, but they have not been able to get any feeling for this Wisconsin offense that has got them back, moving back, and getting first downs.
Well, you saw from behind Lee Evans. That's one of the wide receivers that Penn State must bracket. They've already planned to do that. Here's first 10 for Bollinger, and they'll stick on the ground with Davis, who picked up 2 or 3 yards, and Finney making the stop. But talking about Evans, when Jack was in Madison, he asked him, Lee, what's your secret weapon?
Probably my competitive spirit. You know, every time the ball's up in the air, I want to go get it. And, you know, and anytime it's up, that's my mindset. It doesn't matter how many people are on me, where the ball is. Every time it's up is mine, and every time it's up, I want to go get it.
Great spirit, great smile, and off to a terrific start for the Badgers. Second down, Bollinger in trouble. Terrific defense by the front four that time as they surround Bollinger and sack him back at the 21-yard line. Kennedy 73. Let's get a Michigan update. Here's John Saunders.
Brett, they were supposed to play this game against Western Michigan last weekend. John Navarre here, 41 yards to B.J. Askew. Nice move right there to beat a couple of Broncos. Takes it to the end zone. The Wolverines on the board with a 7-0 lead. That's where it stands right now. Brent.
For next week, Illinois with a tougher game today against Louisville. And then they'll be in Ann Arbor next week as they make up today's scheduled Big Ten opener for those two. Quarterback draw by Bollinger. An outstanding runner. Close, got the first down. Great run by Bollinger. Israel forced to bring him down, and Gary, there's the problems at linebacker again for Penn State. You never used to see that against Penn State linebackers.
Well, right now, in this instance, they had their nickel defense in even, Brent, and they had more speed on the field, and they still did not react to a quarterback draw. Remember, that was 3rd and 14. It was not even a blitz. They picked up 15 yards. That's a gimme. Wisconsin basically was willing to punt the ball, and they end up getting a first down.
First and 10 with Anelli flexing for the tight end spot, and Davis running to the short side of the field, and he's brought down by Brian Scott, the junior corner. Coming up next, we've got a dandy for you. On the Rose Bowl, Mr. Keith Jackson will be there to bring you the showdown between Ohio State and UCLA. And folks, the way things are going, might be the only time this season that the Big Ten and the Pac-10 play in the Rose Bowl. Remember, the Rose Bowl will host the BCS championship game this year. And there isn't a Big Ten team in sight of that top 15 right now. Maybe someone will move up the ladder as the season progresses. Second down, and Davis dashes for a first down inside the 45-yard line. Gary, I have got to say, this is lousy tackling by Penn State.
Well,
I've got to be the first to say it.
And there's a lot of space out there, though, Brent. I mean, nobody was even close to tackle Davis on that one. This spread offense that Tom Bradley told us yesterday, he felt comfortable going against it before, but look at up front. They're getting manhandled. That's a lot of space right there. One hand touching the back of the jersey. That can't be a tackle. And that's the spread offense that Penn State thought they were comfortable with, but not this year.
Miami shredded him with the running game also in that season. Fumble, Bollinger picks it back up from midfield. Out of bounds, he throws it out of bounds. His receiver was covered. That was Nick Davis. Well, Monday Night Football resumes with Green Bay hosting the Washington Redskins on Monday night, live at 9 Eastern. Gary, I guess the Packers, for good reason, pretty big favorite in that game, huh?
Well, they look good against my Lions. Brett Favre looks like he's as healthy and as good as he can play. You know, funny, we were talking to Joe, and he said, and Tom Bradley, also the defensive coordinator, both said the strength of our defense is our front 8. We got 4 good ones and 4 good ones behind it, but so far they're either being manhandled or confused.
Bollinger loses his balance, and he is wrapped up at the 48-yard line by Anthony Adams, the junior from Detroit.
Yep, Detroit Martin Luther King High School. You know, that's really what you have to do. You got to get across these faces of these guys right here. There's Adams right on the nose. Watch it. So he moves, comes behind. He does not get the cutoff block. Actually, just runs right over the backside guard that time. And those are the plays that will free up space for those linebackers to eventually either, make the play or make room for somebody else to play linebacker, because you can't live with your linebackers not making tackles.
Folks, here's the third down. 3rd and 13. The Nittany Lions haven't stopped him yet. Great catch.
Oh, man.
Davis for a first down. It's 3 for 3. What a brilliant catch that was at the 30-yard line by number 22, Nick Davis from Manchester, Michigan.
And pretty good coverage this time by Gardner. Watch this. Square in pass. Nick Davis, who has been struggling for Wisconsin, almost pass interference. Gardner came through it. Davis, with great concentration, makes the catch. Remember, Davis had the big drop against Oregon. He dropped a couple last week against Fresno State. He's been through a lot in the offseason, and that was a big-time pickup. Pretty good throw, too.
Absolutely. Look for Davis now. He's carried 6 times for 52 yards already. Here he comes, left side, hole open, and he powers his way to the 25. You know, I was told that this young man was a track guy, a sprinter, and he moved his way up the charts at Wisconsin in the spring. But what I've been really impressed by is the authority that he hits in a hole when he makes up his mind.
A couple things key right there. There's a hole to run in, and number 2, when Brian White, the offensive coordinator, talked to us, he said he's got very strong lower body strength, and you can see that already in this game.
And Jerome Pettis, a pretty good runner, will now give him a break. Here's Pettis, short of the first down, wrapped up at the 25-yard line by the Nittany Lions.
Old Wisconsin fans might kind of dream about the possibility of a Fletcher-Brett Moss combination between Davis and Pettis.
So the first quarter comes to an end. Wisconsin dominated it. They scored the only touchdown. Their only misstep, a blocked extra point. Back after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Thanks for all your help.
It's my job.
Wow.
Honey, can we start now?
Yes. Yes, we can.
We know how you feel, and that's why we're here. Circuit City. We're with you.
Sweetie.
Yeah, just put that anywhere.
It's not for sale.
No. Some things are just too good to let go of. That's why there's Valvoline Max Life, the first motor oil formulated for higher mileage engines. Max Life conditions use seals to help prevent leaks and helps you hold on to your car for a long, long time.
Don't even think about it.
Valvoline Max Life. And for a simple way to keep your tires looking great, use Eagle One Wet Tire Shine.
Beautiful car.
200 horsepower, V6 engine. It's got your name written all over it. You like it?
I love it.
I feel a test drive coming on. You ready? I'm ready.
I'm done. I want this car. I will take this car.
You've got to take it for a test drive.
No, I'm going to take the car. I want it.
Let's put this thing on the road.
Let's go for a test drive. Test drive over. I want the car.
Chevy Impala.
I love this car.
We'll be there.
A little cold, are we? You should have shopped at Quince Army Navy. Quince Army Navy has the area's largest selection of winter clothing for the outdoors. A complete line of Dickie work clothes, Carhartt outdoor wear, military clothing, and more. We also have boots from Rocky, Chippewa, Carolina, and other brand names. Quince Army Navy won't leave you caught out in the cold. Downtown Scranton.
Storm Tracker 16, First Alert, only on WNEP-TV, the news station.
replaced longtime defensive coordinator Jerry Sandusky. And now his defense faces another third down. And they have been unable to stop the Badgers. They'll come up this time with a 3rd and 5. They are 3 of 3 converting third downs. Remember, Gary Danielson told you that that was going to be the most important statistic of the game. Very one-sided right now. Bollinger goes again. So quarterback Brooks Bollinger, who has an 18-3 record as a Wisconsin starter, twice has run on third down for first downs for Wisconsin to keep this drive alive. The son of a football coach up in North Dakota.
He's so efficient. Watching him play, no wasted motion, nothing fancy, wins games, makes first downs, and that's why, as good as Jim Sorgi is, I think Barry Alvarez likes this guy just as much. There's 2 good quarterbacks here at Wisconsin.
Picking his way is Pettis from Roosevelt, New York. Gang tackle. Dave Benfatti is up there. And let's take a little break now for our Aflac trivia question. And this week's question is, who is the Dean of Coaches in the Big Ten Conference? The Dean. It's a trick question. It is not Joe Paterno. I gotta give my friends a little bit of a tip. Okay, you know, but I didn't give them the answer now. Oh, my producer Bob Goodrich is after me on that. Second down. Here's Bollinger. Slips away. Throws this one away. So I'll tell you, Brooks Bollinger, a gym rat type, is described by Coach Barry Alvarez. He knew what to do over there. He was injured in the Badgers opener against Virginia with a bruised liver, and Barry checking it down at distance up there.
Great athlete, all-around athlete. In fact, Sports Illustrated named him one of the great 38 athletes of his state. What, South Dakota is it?
No. North Dakota.
North Dakota.
No,
same thing. Dakota.
Oh.
Why are a lot better athletes in South
Gary
Dakota?
Danielson, and neither of them is Montana.
You know what? We're not even showing in that area.
Yes, we are. 3rd down and 9. Here comes Bollinger, slipping back to the 12-yard line. Folks, I'm going to take you back to North Dakota. Maybe the most famous athlete of all time to come out of that is Roger Maris. He grew up in Fargo. Yes, I know he was born in Minnesota. But Brooks Bollinger, out of Grand Forks, North Dakota, named for the Baltimore Oriole third baseman Brooks Robinson. His father, a big fan of Baltimore. Johnny Unitas, his favorite quarterback. So Brooks says that's mine too. And now Mike Allen, who had an extra point blocked, coming in here for a field goal, gets this one up and through the upright. So he gets back that missed extra point plus a couple. And the lead swells to 9 over Penn State. So Brooks Bollinger has led Wisconsin on a couple of scoring drives. He did this one with his feet, running on 3rd and long and 3rd and short. Even the umpire took a tumble. Great play fake, and the Badgers are up by 9. Timeout.
The American dream. We refuse to let anyone take it away. So GM announces interest-free financing on every new car and every new truck, now through October 31st. Believe in the dream. Believe in each other. Keep America rolling.
Want to try that triple Lutz?
What the heck? I got supplemental insurance.
What's that?
A Lutz?
No, that something insurance.
Even the best insurance doesn't give you cash for things like lost pay and other expenses. This does.
What does?
Aflac. Ask about it at work.
Oh, see that guy over there?
7, Tuesday on Lifetime.
And there's Richard Davis, my music professor. Played bass. They just got a fellowship to work on...
Let me guess. A cure for cancer? Yeah.
the University of Wisconsin. It's going to be a great century.
Oh, come on, come on, let's go, baby, come on.
Ohio State UCLA, live from the Rose Bowl, next on ABC.
We are back at Penn State. Joe Paterno's Nittany Lions leading to keep the student body in it. They need a little bit of a rally here. Larry Johnson and Eric McCoo are back deep. Espinosa's kickoff. This is McCoo. Boy, much better coverage than last week against Fresno State, huh? ABC Sports presentation of college football brought to you by Cadillac, the fusion of design and technology. Aflac, without it, no insurance is complete. Tostitos Scoops, the Dip Lovers chip, and Original Coors. Nothing beats an original. Well, the stadium has been expanded by some 11,000 seats this year, but it is not sold out. And look at the difference offensively. Oh my, Matt Seneca and the Penn State offense, they need to get something going. Omar Easy in at tailback. Seneca's going to put it up on first down. Receiver turns, this time hangs on. Despite a penalty flag, Bryant Johnson from Baltimore makes the catch, and let's see if he pushed off.
He did. It looked like to me he pushed off with his right arm. I think you knew it as you called it, actually, and I'm wondering if Bryant just couldn't have jumped up and made that play anyone without doing it. If you're going to push, you have to push with your elbow, not your hand. You can't make an easy call for those officials there. You know, and that ball really died on Seneca, too, Brent. That ball just hung up in the air. He was trying to go deep with it.
Pass interference on the offense. It's a half the distance to the goal line. It'll still be second down.
Bryant Johnson starts out in the slot, runs a little wheel route, covered very closely by Starks. Undersized right there. You can see it. Right hand to Starks. Easy call, even though the back judge is right in front of the Penn State bench.
Scott Davis has replaced Greg Ransom at left guard, and the word we got from Jack Arute is that Ransom's doubtful for the rest of the day with a shoulder injury. And the draw doesn't fool anybody with Larry Johnson. He missed the early season training because of an injury. Nick Greisen, who led the Big Ten in tackles and sets up the signals defensively for the Badgers, making the stop. And so it has not been easy. And now second down and 19.
Yeah, and also, it's not going to be easy on this guy right here because Zach Mills, the backup quarterback, the freshman, had such a nice second half against Miami.
Seneca had time, but apparently nobody was open. Gary, did you see a wide receiver open?
I did not, and I thought that there wasn't much he could have done.
Well, earlier we asked you this Aflac trivia question. Who's the dean of coaches in the Big Ten? No, it's not Joe Pa. You got to look to the other side of the sideline. Barry Alvarez, 12th year at Wisconsin. Now remember, Joe Pa and Penn State did not come into the Big Ten until '93. So there's Barry Alvarez. I am the dean, he said.
And he took over when John Cooper left Ohio State.
Exactly. He just moves up to that spot.
But, you know, you move up and then you move out. That's the problem.
No, don't tell Barry that. He's there for the long haul. Done a great job at Madison. Seneca's going to take it deep, and he's overthrown his wide receiver.
That's the fourth time they've run that play. 4 vertical. That is just a desperate
Listen to the crowd, Gary. They know it, too. The boos are starting to come down on this offense. They are not happy here, folks. This is one of the few times that I can ever remember natives growing restless over a Joe Pa coach team. That's very unusual.
It's been a team effort. The offensive line has not been able to open holes running the ball. The quarterback's been inaccurate, and penalties all over the field.
So Royer out of the end zone. Davis, who made a fine catch earlier, driven inside the 45. Can he get to midfield? He's right there. He's slippery, isn't he? Down at the 46, huh?
He burst onto the scene in Wisconsin with those punt returns. Remember that as a freshman?
Yeah, he was a great one. Well, there it is, 9-0, Wisconsin. Timeout.
You like simple better than complicated. You like quick better than slow. You like easy better than hard. So now pay with SpeedPass at both Mobil and Exxon. It's fast, it's free, and it links to a check card or major credit card you already have. Call toll-free or visit speedpass.com. We're drivers too.
It is extremely hard to break away for an 80-yard touchdown. Any running back can tell you that. But only Barry Sanders can tell you how hard it is to do it twice in one game.
Hey, nothing beats an original. Original Coors, brewed with Rocky Mountain water.
Original Coors. Rush out and get some.
A huge advantage for Wisconsin, starting on their own 41, while Penn State's been backed up to their own 19. And football coaches always look at that starting field position. And Wisconsin working with less than half a field right now.
And Brent, they've earned that field position with long drives and converting on third down.
Here's first down for Bollinger. They empty out the backfield. They'll throw the screen. Evans going to throw it back to Bollinger. This is legal. Here he comes. 30, 25 to the 20-yard line, and a first down. I don't recognize this bad news.
Exactly. This is Wisconsin. Got burned by Northwestern for over 600 yards last year. I think Barry said, wait a second. We've got as good of players, maybe better players than Northwestern. Maybe we're not playing and take advantage of all our athletes on the field. Let's do something. Look at that. 3 people blocking. Lee Evans, an athlete, throws it back to another athlete, get the big guys out in front. And instead of trying to get 2, 3, 5 yards, they're trying to get chunks of yards, and they're demoralizing Penn State right now.
Into the red zone. The Badgers again with a first down from the 20. Davis slipping free. Tripped up at the 11-yard line. And I understand we got a shocker with Florida State. Let's go to John Saunders for an update.
Well, Brent, as you know, Bobby Bowden's only 5 games back of Joe Paterno as they chase the Bear, but it's North Carolina that scores first. Darian Durant, 20 yards to Sam Aiken. How about that leap to the pylon for the touchdown? 7-0, and Florida State's offense is sputtering.
John, what I really noticed is you didn't say Ron Curry, which indicates that they may be making a quarterback change at Chapel Hill with North Carolina. Second down, Davis tiptoes, first down, still pushing the pile with his strength, and it looks to me like Wisconsin has discovered its next star running back.
I believe you're right. And you usually call him right, but this one, he did not tiptoe. He's got strong legs. He got that push behind those big guys.
You're right. So in case you just joined us, it was Bollinger to his tight end for the game's only touchdown. Then it was Bollinger twice on third down, setting up a field goal. They lead at 9-0. They've got a first and goal at the 6-yard line. The Badgers look very good here, folks. But that time, the Nittany Lions with Derek Tolles. Folks, Derek Tolles is a story. Let's stay with him. Number 2 out of Warren, Ohio. He has an enzyme problem. He can only play about 25 to 30 snaps a game. They have told us repeatedly he would be their best linebacker if he could go for an entire game. And he showed you right there. That is the best tackle so far today by a Penn State linebacker. That was the Penn State of old. That was the Shane Conlons, the LeVar Arrington, the Brandon Shorts type move. Maybe he can give this defense a lift. Second down and goal now. Against Wisconsin. That'll help Penn State. That'll bring him back 5.
Full start on the offense. 5 yards. Still second down.
Let's also point out that Penn State lost Derek Wake, too, maybe their best offensive lineman.
There's the penalties in the game, and each with 3 apiece. Penn State with 30 yards amassed in penalties, but the Badgers hurt themselves with this one big time. This is 2nd down and goal from the 12-yard line.
7 of the 10 offensive linemen for Wisconsin are freshmen.
Bollinger looking for the quarterback draw, and this time the Nittany Lions. So Tom Bradley makes sure that someone spies on Bollinger this time.
It was Jimmy Kennedy coming right up the middle. Jimmy Kennedy, nose tackle this time, coming right up the gut. Gets right in on Bollinger right there, number 73. Does a spin move, got him. So the penalty, the offside penalty by the offensive line really got Wisconsin behind down a distance, but another 3rd and long.
Now, Bollinger will put it up. He's got Nick Davis. He's made 1 great catch. Lee Evans has been quiet. And Anelli, well, he's caught one for a touchdown. Let's see where they spray it on 3rd and goal. Bollinger looks in zone. Pump fake, keeps it, dashes 5. Short of the end zone. Couldn't make it all the way. I'm not so sure he shouldn't have stayed there and thrown it into the end zone.
2 deep this time. You see the 2 deep zone. Tight end Anelli's going to come right in the middle. That's where you see it. If Brooks could have got the ball right there, I don't know, not a lot of space. Could have done it late, but he almost beats all 3 linebackers to get to the end zone. And that's the athletic ability of Bollinger. I think he committed to the run, and again, Wisconsin in a position to kick the field goal.
I think on that replay, when the tight end threw his arms up, I think he was already across the line of scrimmage, and he had to keep running. And so now Mike Allen from his left hash. He nails his 2nd field goal of the game. So after the blocked extra point, he's hit a couple of field goals. The Badgers lead it by 12 with their offense doing a job. And it's time now for our Pacific Life game summary. And the Wisconsin Badgers offensive line leading the way. The Badgers with 167 yards of offense in this game to only 14 for Penn State. And they have really cleared the way, especially for Davis, who has rushed 10 times for 71 yards.
Yeah, Wisconsin's already put 110 yards rushing on the board already in this football game against a proud Penn State defense, or should I say once proud Penn State defense, because Miami, the thought was around here was it was just a superior team. A great offensive line. Penn State ran into a team that might be able to do that to anyone, but now as you watch this, you begin to wonder about what the future holds for this Penn State team this year. Is it the layoff or is it the talent? That's what you got to wonder.
Larry Johnson and Eric McCool back deep, and a reminder that Ohio State UCLA coming up. The Big Ten looking for a big-time win against a non-conference opponent. They've got 2 chances today, Michigan State at Notre Dame and Ohio State up against UCLA, the game you'll see here on ABC. This is Johnson, who slipped to the other side, and he's down at the 15. Boy, did that kickoff return for a touchdown by Fresno State awaken this special team. We check in with Jack Aru.
Well, Brent, a week ago when Wisconsin was preparing for a game they never played, this man, Kevin Cosgrove, suffered a debilitating injury. On his leg now, to mend a torn calf muscle is a walking cast. He's the defensive coordinator. He got it playing quarterback. Should never play quarterback.
And speaking of quarterbacks, Jack, we've got a new one. Zach Mills, the left-hander from Maryland, the freshman, steps in for the Nittany Lions. Short drop, and he puts it into Drummond's hands for a first down. Eddie Drummond, and Mills, who set the freshman record with 240 yards coming in after the Seneca injury, now gets his chance. He had a high percentage pass to start things, and he passes for a first down.
When we talked to Fran Ganner about Zach Mills, he said even-keeled, unflappable, great arm, great touch, and a tremendous long ball throw.
The Canes did pick him off twice, however, in that game. He had 1 touchdown pass and 2 interceptions. The Badgers stuffed the run that time, and it was Larry Johnson. So Brett Favre and Green Bay play host to Washington on Monday Night Football, live at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific on ABC. Then on Sunday night on ESPN, the Broncos play the first place Cardinals. That's right, folks. The Cardinals haven't played a game, and they're in first place. Everybody else in the NFC's lost. I can't remember somebody 0-0 sitting alone in first place after his season starts. Second down now. Eric McCoo, the running back. Joe Pa makes the decision on the running backs, and he's used all 3 here in the early going. The left-hander firing and misfiring, and the center fielder, Broussard, out of Carlton, Texas, was lurking back there.
Mills has pretty good feel in the pocket right there. You could see he didn't have anybody to go to, kind of threw that ball away, just flicked it out there about 25, 30 yards. He's the one that everybody thought might be the guy that could get a passing attack going. But, you know, a lot of those yards, you know, you get 240 yards, it's called garbage yards when you're down 30 points to Miami.
There's third down and 10. Let's see if the offensive line can hold up long enough. Mills needs 10 yards. High snap. Nothing doing because of the bad snap. Window blind on top of him, and the Nittany Lions are again forced to punt.
Shotgun snap has to be. This is where you do a couple of those, and old Joe will say, get under center and just get it from the center like we've done for 25, 30 years around here. The shotgun could quickly leave Happy Valley if that happens again.
Davis again looking for a return. You are behind Royer. The Gunners have got him, and there are penalty flags down on the play from both sides. The halo is perhaps violated on that return. And both officials took a look at it.
Tony Johnson, number 11, was the guy kind of got blocked there. He tried to stop. What's that, 1 yard and 3/4.
But, officer, I was only going 46 in a 45-mile-an-hour zone.
You need one of those cards, don't you? You know, for the sheriff or something.
With the opportunity within the 2-yard belt on the kicking team. 5 yards, first down.
You know what's kind of happened also here, Brent, is that the stadium is filled up. Maybe the security to get in here made it late arriving, but it's pretty filled.
Or a lot of folks have spread out. Timeout.
But those are new seats, too.
Also, the world-famous Louisiana Stallions will be returning to the...
How can you provide for the future of the people who depend on you? With Pacific Life and its expertise in investments, annuities, and insurance, discover the power of Pacific Life.
Choose road. Validating tires.
BF Goodrich tires with traction advantage.
Approved.
For control you can feel. BF Goodrich tires. Take control.
It's the 1 hour season premiere with Charlie, Heather, and...
I'm back.
Michael J. Fox is back on the season premiere of Spin City, Tuesday at 9/8 Central on ABC.
Well, Barry Alvarez told us earlier in the week that both quarterbacks would play, and even though he's up by 12 over Penn State, Jim Sorgi comes in at quarterback. He's a sophomore from Fraser, Michigan. Got a pretty good arm, and he steps in under center. This is his first play in relief of Bollinger, who will come back in the game. And Barry Alvarez likes both these young men. Sorgi to throw on first down, knocked away beautifully by Scott. And here's Alvarez talking about his two quarterbacks.
Jim's an excellent thrower and has a quick release. He's very accurate and particularly throws the deep ball well. Brooks is more of a combination quarterback. I think Brooks would prefer to pull the ball down and run it up the field. We'll run option with Brooks. We'll put him on the edge. We'd like to use his feet, yet he can still throw the ball effectively.
And we have seen that already. Bollinger running the ball effectively, and the Penn State linebackers have had a very tough time. And here's a handoff to Davis. Searches daylight, and this time he is run down from behind. And speaking of linebackers, we welcome the great one, LeVar Arrington, who was an All-American here at Penn State. And there you can see big number 11 before moving on to the Washington Redskins. You'll see him on ABC's Monday Night Football against the Green Bay Packers. And LeVar, it must be painful for you to watch the Penn State defense here today against Wisconsin.
This is first opportunity I've gotten a chance to see him play live, so I'm just waiting to see what my guys do. I'm not giving up on them, so I'm right with those Nittany Lions.
That's exactly what I want to hear. We're coming right back after this third down and 8, and Sorgi's back deep, middle, got the first down, working inside the 50-yard line. You know, I want to ask you a serious question, LeVar, because I know that your father suffered a serious injury over in the battle in Vietnam. You're in Washington. What has been your mood as you listen to the president, you experience the tragedy that unfolded around you at the Pentagon?
Well, you know, it does hit home because my father, like you said, was over in Vietnam. So, I mean, it's, you know, the mood, the spirits are picking up around here, and you know, it is interesting situation for me because I am in the nation's capital. So, but things are coming around.
All right, LeVar, first down for the Badgers. They're at the Nittany Lion 43-yard line. Here's Davis, wrapped up beautifully at the 42-yard line. LeVar, are the Redskins ready for Brett Favre on Monday night? I know everyone thinks the Packers are going to have an easy time of it, but what's your take on that?
Well, that's what we want people to think. You know, that's I love being an underdog. We've worked hard, and it's only a matter of time before it comes together for them Redskins in D.C. So we're going to get it together. Hopefully it'll be Monday night. That's the perfect time to get it.
All right, here is second down now for the Badgers and Jim Sorgi. The fullback goes to the left, and he'll throw short, and he is right on the money again to Nelly, the tight end. The last time, LeVar, that these two teams played on Monday night, they scored 95 points. Packers won at 48-47. That's the highest scoring Monday night game ever. But I want to ask you something about Penn State. Your friend Joe Paterno, we had lunch with him yesterday, and he said, you know, I miss LeVar. I don't have anybody to yell at practice occasionally. Did Joe
right?
Paul really yell at you during practice?
Joe never really yelled at me. Me and Joe had a great relationship. You know, I know he misses me. I know he misses that group of guys that was with him. We miss him too.
Yeah, you know, LeVar, he sure does. Right now, he'd love to have you out there on third down, and the Badgers buck right ahead for a first down. What did you take away from Joe Paterno and Penn State, LeVar? What are the lessons you learned?
Oh, it's more life lessons than it is athletic lessons, and I think that's the greatest thing about having the Penn State experience. You know, Joe teaches you to be a responsible man and be a responsible person, and he concentrates on that more than the whole athletic thing. Anybody can be an athlete if you work hard at it. You got to keep working hard to be a good person too.
Well, LeVar, we've really appreciated talking to you. And here's the pass from Sorgi toward the end zone. Falls incomplete. We want to wish you good luck. We'll be watching Monday Night Football here on ABC. LeVar Arrington and the Washington Redskins, something to prove in Green Bay. Good luck, my friend.
I appreciate it, guys.
Well, Gary, we've got Sorgi in here in the Badger offense. Take us back on what you've seen as you watch Sorgi.
More of the same. Third down conversions of a little different style, obviously. Start out with a drop back pass, a big third down completion across on a dig route, which Sorgi loves to throw. And Barry Alvarez says he throws it very, very well. And 2 third down conversions again. Different quarterback, different style, same results.
So defensive lineman Haynes is now out of here, gone to the locker room, and a pretty tough D on that second down play, and the Badgers only able to get 2 or 3 yards. But there's been a huge difference in total yards in this game. The Badgers with over 200 yards, and the Nittany Lions with only 23. So what a difference. And up on the scoreboard, Wisconsin leads Joe Paterno and Penn State by 12 points.
Yeah, Miami, it's been a while ago, but when they faced Penn State, scored 6 out of their first 7 times they had the ball. Wisconsin's doing the same thing. They're either kicking field goals or scoring a touchdown, but they're putting points on the board and converting drives.
Well, Gary, here we are, get another third down. They're 6 of 8 against this defense. Sorgi with that straight drop throws, incomplete, and there is the young man, Tolles. We told you about him earlier, and he is the stand-up linebacker, but because of an enzyme deficiency, he's limited to the number of plays on the field.
And Tolles is a linebacker, but he's almost a strong safety-type body. And I thought Nanelli here just tripped. Actually, he did. Tight end just kind of stumbled over his own feet, or he would have had that. Tolles was in position, but a good throw could have converted.
Well, here comes Mike Allen. Jim Sorgi is the holder. He'll miss this one. So he's 2 of 3, and he's had an extra point block. So missed success that time, and was that our friend?
Yep, Crenshaw got it again.
Crenshaw coming at him again.
It was not a very good snap right there, but Sorgi does such a great job of getting that ball in and out of his hands. He's so tough to sack because he's got a quick release, and he has good timing. Look, we're going to use a pocket clock here. Whoop, whoop, 2 seconds. You're not going to get a lot of pressure right here. Another one gets rid of the ball on third down, up to 3. That's not a good enough pass. There's a quick one, under 2 seconds. Comes back in the pocket here, throws deep, under 3 seconds. That's the type of quarterback that can keep you off balance, getting the ball in and out of his hands quickly.
So now Mills still on the field, and it is 2nd and 10, and a penalty flag goes down on the field. A penalty flag thrown back by the quarterback.
It was Wendell Bryant that time coming right up, and boy, it looked like he was, I don't know if he stumbled, but he got him right. Did he get him with his helmet?
Right
Is that
in the
what
head,
it was?
maybe.
Yep.
Got him right in the head, perhaps. Honig was right there. He didn't hesitate. So watch his 77. Yep, got him up right up in the head with it. Brought his arm right down on
Yeah, he reached for the ball and kind of followed through into the head right there. And, well, he said he wanted to hit him in the mouth, didn't he? I mean, he got him a little high that time. Well, Penn State finally gets some yardage, but it's with a penalty. They have not been able to consistently drive. Where's the pulling guards? Where's that beautiful Penn State offense that we've seen with those athletic guards getting out in front of those tailbacks? Where's the play-action pass? Nothing is working for this offense.
Ball up at the 41-yard line, and here's Mills under pressure. Fumble! Wisconsin's got it on the turnover. The Badgers have it. So Mills gives it up, and Bryant was in all over that play along with his teammates. It was recovered by McGrew.
I think McGrew is the guy that forced the fumble on this time, coming around from the outside. Let's see if it is McGrew. Yes, it is. He gets the hand on it, and I think Bryant just goes on all fours. Mills, the left-hander, McGrew grabs it, and Bryant falls on the ball. Just a discombobulated offense for Penn State. They can't handle the men up front. They can't run the ball effectively with a power game, and they're forced into trying to finesse the other team. Not working.
And the Badgers are inside the 30-yard line. They've got to hurry. They've only got 47 seconds left. There was movement on the right side of the defensive line for the Nittany Lion. And in a field goal situation with seconds ticking down, that could prove to be very costly.
Bob Jones moved into the neutral zone, and then the offense reacted to it. We'll see which way this goes.
Right to the snap. False start on the offense.
Oh, a huge break.
Yep.
Remains first down.
Did you see Bob Jones move? It looked like he moved.
No question.
I thought so too.
Well, next Saturday at noon, we've got a couple of good ones for you. We'll split the country. How about the one down at Big 12 land? Kansas State against Oklahoma down in Norman. And some of you in the Midwest will see Michigan State take on Northwestern up in Evanston.
Sorgi loves to come across with his slot receivers. That's the pass he likes to throw.
He's back in the middle of the pocket. He throws an interception into the middle of the field that time. Finney picks it off for the Nittany Lions. Out to the 44-yard line with 37 seconds. A big turnover.
Did Sorgi get hit? I had my eyes downfield because that ball just dived into the middle of the field. Finney was dropping very deep. The game plan, the scouting report was, there's Finney right there. He's going to come back. The scouting report is Sorgi likes to come across the middle of the field. He steps up into this, but he just kind of gets turned, and the ball right to the linebacker gets thrown a little off angle, and Finney's in a perfect zone drop.
This is the young man who may have spun him a little bit,
Yeah.
Kennedy, and then he gets back up and helps out on the interception.
Yeah.
So Kennedy, one of the outstanding defensive linemen in the Big Ten this year, turned in a couple of nice plays. But then injured Badger down on the field, and
but Penn State had Sorgi red that time, didn't they? I mean, they
Sure
just
did.
knew he was coming to the middle of the field, and that's where he likes to throw the ball, and Finney did a perfect drop.
Let's check in with Jackaroo. Jack.
Well, Brent, we told you at the top of the show that Joe Paterno was chasing the legendary Bear Bryant. One time, a long, long time ago, Joe Paterno got a call from Bear Bryant, and he was told, Joe, if you'll just wait and not accept a bowl bid, I think I can get you to play us in the Sugar Bowl. They did in 1979, and Penn State lost that game in the national championship. Ernie Accorsi of the New York Giants was the assistant SID at the time, and he found himself in Joe Pa's room after the game when Joe Pa admitted, I just got out-coached by the Bear.
First down and 10, and Johnson, their center, injured on the play, and that's a big injury, and let's hope it's not serious. As we told you, he's one of the best offensive centers in the country.
And this is the best.
Watching him.
This is the best starting field position for Penn State the whole game, the 44-yard line.
And they've only got 37 seconds to do something with it. Mills is in trouble. There's a penalty flag, and they can't get anybody open. And he's wrapped up. Bryant, who's been all over the Penn State quarterbacks here today.
He gets sacked and a holding on the same play. Not a good sign.
Not a happy coach.
No,
36th year here at Penn State. He's been chasing the Bear for quite some time, you know, looking for that 323 and chasing both of them is a fellow by the name of Bobby Bowden.
Holding on the offense. Penalty declined. Second down.
It is unusual for me. In fact, I'm not sure, folks, I can ever remember coming here and seeing problems with Joe's offensive line and his linebackers at the same time. That's really a first for me.
That's a lethal combination.
We'll try the shotgun and run McCoo out of that formation. Breaks free. Great run to the 36-yard line. Best play of the day by a Nittany Lion is that run by Eric McCoo from Red Bank, New Jersey. That was a major league run right there. There's only 14 seconds. They'll try to get something going. Stops the clock, and I heard a whistle, I think, even before he pumped the ball into the ground.
It's just a simple draw play, second and long. Going to hand it off to McCoo right there, right up the gut. This time the offensive line gets up on the linebackers. Just get a little helmet on somebody. That's all you have to do. If you just get in people's way, you put McCoo one-on-one, and that's the time he can beat these defensive backs. You have a good running back like that, give him space. He can beat guys going two different directions.
Sean McHugh, the fullback, threw a great lead block on that play. And Bryant's got him again. Wendell Bryant. Timeout called. Stops the clock with 6 seconds to go.
Wendell Bryant gave up an opportunity playing the NFL to come back and get better as a football player. I think he's pretty good. I mean, he's as good of defensive inside player as there is in the country this year.
check in with Jack.
Well, Brent, as you know, after the Fresno State game, this man, Wendell Bryant, was a little outspoken. And what happened was Wendell Bryant, as a captain, felt that he didn't want to hear about the youth of this team. He said, in fact, youth, what are you talking about? When I was a freshman, I went to the Rose Bowl with 2 redshirt freshman corners. Take that youth stuff, throw it out the window.
Wisconsin now obviously will prepare for the long throw to the end zone.
But Jack mentioned Wendell Bryant, and here's what he had to say about speaking out following that loss.
The main focus of myself and the captains is to win football games, by whatever means necessary. And, we all felt bad after the loss, and I was just a little more outspoken than everybody else. But we all were on the same page with the same things.
I got to tell you, even though Barry said that publicly, he said things, well, maybe he was upset. I'm not so sure that the coach really minded that very much.
Absolutely.
It is great to see a player, as you know, Gary, speak up internally. It carries a lot more weight sometimes than a coach.
Here comes the Big Ben play to the end zone. Long throw. Let's see if he has time to get it off.
Got time. Throws underneath and out of bounds. They wave it off, incomplete.
Didn't matter.
As time runs out.
They should have thrown to the end zone. 6 seconds. You do not have enough time to throw out and kick a field goal. That should have gone to the end zone.
So we'll take a break, and John Saunders will tell you what's going on with Florida State. They were behind last we checked. We're at the half, and it's 12-0, Wisconsin leading.
For his first attempt, a 360 tomahawk.
Introducing new Tostitos Scoops.
Amazing. And now the alley-oop reverse.
With the bite-sized bowl-shaped design.
Oh, my. And what everyone's been waiting for, the two-handed thunder.
For the perfect dip every time.
Oh, the judges have to be impressed.
New Tostitos Scoops. The dip lover's chip. Also great with new Queso Supreme dip.
Chili's Big Mouth Burgers. Do whatever it takes to get one.
The American dream. We refuse to let anyone take it away. So GM announces interest-free financing on every new car and every new truck, now through October 31st. Believe in the dream. Believe in each other. Keep America rolling.
Oh, the wonderful thing about children is it never occurs to them that their dreams might not come true. My dream has come true. With hard work and some good financial advice, I just opened my 3rd child care center. We take care of hundreds of children every day. Our children are our future. They just don't know it yet.
Smart Financial Services from Mutual of Omaha, helping plan successful futures for over 90 years.
Chili's Big Mouth Burgers. Do whatever it takes to get one.
When we first got the assignment to do the new Nissan Altima, we surveyed the competition. Just a sea of sameness. We saw an opportunity. We asked ourselves, can we design an exciting car that just happens to have 4 doors? That wasn't predictable. That wasn't boring. Boredom is the disease. This is the cure.
A stunning loss for one little church. Watch the next Inside Edition.
The Valvoline Halftime Show, brought to you by Valvoline's Max Life, the first motor oil formulated for higher mileage engines.
Well, things will never be the same, but clearly the country got things going again this weekend with college football. And Terry, as I watch those moments from around the country, it strikes me that this is very unique to the United States of America, that you have a venue like this that at high level in college and professional allows you to memorialize the people all across the country. That really is special to this country.
John, I'm so impressed with the patriotism that we're seeing with these people, and we're watching them, and they have their colors of their school, whatever color Florida State is, or whatever color Penn State is, but everybody seems to be now understanding they're on the same team, and their colors are red, white, and blue.
All right, we got things back going again in Florida in action as well. They were very close to playing last week in the SEC, but they thought better of it. And now the memorializing continues to go on, and Rex Grossman, who's had a terrific year, 29 yards to Jabbar Gaffney. 7-0 Florida had the lead. Rex Grossman, of his first 64 attempts this year, he completed 50 of them.
Well, you know, Steve Spurrier outscored his first two opponents 102-40. He said he wanted to score a lot of points. 7-0 is not what he had in mind.
You know, Kentucky on the board now with a field goal. Florida State and North Carolina. Carolina starting 0-3, having to face Bobby Bowden. A tough task, but Chris Ricks here running for 10 yards before he fumbles the ball at the Carolina 39-yard line. Actually, it looked like he handed it over. Joey Evans recovers, and Darian Durant 20 yards to Sam Aiken. Watch the dive to get to the flag and just touch it. 7-0 they had a lead, but then Chris Ricks finally gets his offense going.
You know, Florida State came out, ran the ball 8 straight times to begin the game. They thought they were going to run right over North Carolina, and when they didn't do it, North Carolina's confidence came back up. They got ahead. Now they open the offense back up. This is what they should have been doing, spreading the field, letting Chris Ricks throw and run.
9-7 is the lead there. Virginia Tech against Rutgers. Grant Knoll has been having a good season, replacing Michael Vick. 16 yards here to Emmett Johnson. And at that point, it was a 21-0 lead. He has 3 touchdown passes for Knoll.
Well, the key for Virginia Tech right now, we always see the numbers, it's their defense. Their defense is impressive, causing turnovers. Rutgers, 6 turnovers last game against Miami. They've had 4 more this first half.
Knoll isn't throwing it a lot, but when he does, he's 8 of 9. Western Michigan and Michigan, one of the games that actually was supposed to be played last week. John Navarre to B.J. Askew. Nice move between a couple of Broncos, takes off for the end zone. Of course, Michigan coming off a loss to Washington in a game they thought they should have had.
Well, Michigan has a young offense. They're going to get better throughout the season. It's their defense that really is allowing them to beat these lesser teams. 4 sacks already against Western Michigan.
John Welch, though, does have a 17-yard touchdown pass in that game. Purdue hosting Akron. 10-7 is the lead at halftime. Navy got out of the gate with a 7-0 lead, but Boston College has come back and leads 28-14.
You got to remember, Joe Tiller has never lost 15-0 against unranked opponents at home.
Louisville and Illinois. Kurt Kittner, a quarterback who got off to a pretty quick start as well. 9 yards here to Kerry Davis. And Illinois grabs the lead at 10-7. Dave Ragone, though, one of the best quarterbacks in the country that probably doesn't get as much credit as he should, also with a touchdown pass there.
Well, these are 2 of the best quarterbacks. Kurt Kittner has to play well for Illinois, but if Dave Ragone gets hot, Louisville is never out of this game.
As we're watching Penn State struggling in the game against Wisconsin, and probably because of the reputation of Joe Paterno, you keep expecting the team to come out of the funk that's been over them the last 2 seasons, really. Is it going to happen?
John, I think it's much more serious than that. When you look at Penn State, what you don't see are the athletes. They don't have better athletes than the other team. They have lesser athletes, and when that happens, you're not going to come back and just fix what's wrong with you. Wisconsin, on the other hand, they've changed from a power offense to a spread offense. That's the reason now they've got Brooks Bollinger. He runs a better spread offense.
And by the way, Wisconsin, the best 2-loss team in the nation. Right now, Bollinger to Anelli, a 3-yard touchdown pass, part of the 12-0 lead.
It's not for sale.
No.
Some things are just too good to let go of. That's why there's Valvoline Max Life, the first motor oil formulated for higher mileage engines. Max Life conditions use seals to help prevent leaks and helps you hold on to your car for a long, long time.
Don't even think about it.
Valvoline Max Life.
I lost my sight in 1986. When I decided to make furniture, some people thought I'd lost my sanity too. But in my mind's eye, I can see where I'm headed. Without Craftsman Professional, their most precise tools ever, I can't get there. I like to say I lost my sight, not my vision.
Today at 3:30 Eastern Time, Jim Tressel, the new head coach of the Ohio State Buckeyes, faces his first test as they take on the 12th-ranked UCLA Bruins in the Rose Bowl. Welcome back to the Valvoline Halftime Show. John Saunders alongside Terry Bowden. And Terry, we've talked about this many times over the years. As the son of Bobby Bowden, there was little doubt which career path you would take. Another story like that this afternoon.
You know, you're right, John. You know, if your dad's a lawyer, I'm not sure you grew up wanting to be a lawyer, or if he's a doctor, you grew up wanting to be a doctor. But if you're Jim Tressel and your father was a successful head football coach, it's a good chance you're going to grow up wanting to be a head football coach too.
Back in 1943, Ohio State University running back Lee Tressel seemed poised to become a star. Unfortunately, his playing career was cut short when he was called to serve in World War II. After the war, Lee found his destiny as head football coach at Baldwin Wallace College outside of Cleveland. He and wife Eloise raised 3 sons who spent afternoons chasing balls at Dad's practices and dinner time listening to Dad discuss football.
They were always on the sideline. They always came to practice. They were all around football, and it was a good influence on them because they're great people.
Our house was always open to everyone. It was open to people in the community. It was open to players. We even had some guys live there, and I think it was because my dad wanted to keep an eye on making sure they went to class and studied and that type of thing. But you know, we always felt we were part of the whole.
Jim Tressel knew from an early age that coaching was his calling, and he cultivated his Ohio roots by taking assistant coaching jobs at universities around the state. In 1986, Tressel became head coach at Youngstown State University, and at age 38, he won his first of 4 national titles there. Most of the Youngstown State players are, like Tressel, born and raised Ohioans, and in the Buckeye State, all roads lead to Columbus. When Ohio State announced that it had chosen Jim as their new head coach, the players at Youngstown State shared the pride of Buckeyes everywhere. One of their own was about to reach the pinnacle of Ohio football culture.
It's a dream come true. I mean, as you grow up, I mean, that's all you follow, especially with him. He's grown up around football, and Ohio State's the best job you could have in Ohio. And I think that's the only job he'd leave for, and I know that's the only job he'd leave for.
Logic would tell you that it is. You know, I've never tried to deny it. People asked me years ago, would you like to be the coach at Ohio State? And one thing you have to know about coaches, we're very paranoid, and I just wanted to keep my job at Youngstown State.
Tressel now has the privilege of running the program his father hoped to star for all those years ago, and he's wasted no time making his mark. He has started with recruiting. The Tressel family name is so respected in Ohio football, Jim has reportedly already received 12 verbal commitments for next year. Tressel took a pay cut so there would be more money available to lure top assistants to his staff. To strengthen team unity, the Buckeyes will now gather at home victories to sing the school alma mater. The Tressel way is the path of discipline, unselfishness, and community, and Buckeye fans are ready to share in some of the success he's enjoyed.
Respect is huge, and if we can have guys understand that if we're unselfish and we're respectful, then we're going to succeed.
There's something about being the son of a football coach that just prepares you for the business. You eat, sleep, and breathe football from the day you're born. The biggest thing I think is that you know how to act like a head football coach. You know what to say after a tough loss, or what to say after a big win, or when not to say anything at all. And you know, John, I think Jim Tressel is awful thankful he had a great role model in his father.
There's little question about that. All right, the second half is coming up. When we come back, we'll check in with ABC News and Elizabeth Vargas.
Okay, we took care of the spark plugs, flushed the coolant. The brakes were shot, so I went ahead and took care of those. Greased and lubed it, cleaned out the injectors, replaced the air filter, the fuel filter, rotated the tires, and changed the oil.
Thanks, honey.
More ASC certified master technicians, the top mechanics in the country, use Valvoline motor oil in their own cars over any other oil.
Did you take out the garbage?
Sure did. Separated bottles from cans. One of the bags was leaking, so I double bagged that. And the roof's gonna need some work. I can get to that next week.
Hey there, little Red Riding Hood.
My, what big calories you have. My, what low-calorie taste you have. Listen to me. My. This one's just right.
My, what big eyes you have.
You have no idea.
Great tasting 1-calorie Pepsi One. This one's just right.
The Valvoline Halftime Show, brought to you by Valvoline's Max Life, the first motor oil formulated for higher mileage engines.
I am a good sport at all times and conduct myself with decency and honesty.
I do my best to get along with others.
And have pride in myself. I put forth my best effort in all competition and always compete fairly. Walk tall, stand tall.
Friday. Somewhere in the world, 14 people are playing a game. The ultimate global mystery. A mystery you can solve.
It's a psychological game.
14 players.
Trust but verify.
One mole. Mole 2 premieres Friday, 8/7 Central on ABC.
This is an ABC News Update.
Good afternoon. I'm Elizabeth Vargas reporting from ABC News World Headquarters in New York. Today, President Bush met with his national security advisors at Camp David. In his radio address, Mr. Bush tried to reassure Americans about the economy after the worst week on Wall Street since 1940.
Our economy has had a shock. Many workers lost their jobs this week, especially in the airline and hospitality industries, in restaurants, and in tourism. Many Americans have also seen the value of their stocks decline. Yet for all these challenges, the American economy is fundamentally strong.
The president is expected to sign legislation passed by Congress last night, which will provide $15 billion to the troubled airline industry. Defense officials say B-52 bombers have been ordered to head to the Arabian Sea. 9 left Barksdale Air Force Base in Louisiana last night. Preliminary analysis of the voice recorder recovered from the wreckage in Pennsylvania confirms there was a struggle on board moments before United Flight 93 crashed. Today, the United Arab Emirates cut diplomatic relations with the Taliban for refusing to turn over Osama bin Laden. And here at home, there are displays of patriotism and increased security at college football games throughout the country. Airspace is restricted above most stadiums. I'm Elizabeth Vargas. College football will return after these messages and a word from our ABC stations.
Choose road. Validating tires.
BF Goodrich tires with traction advantage.
Approved.
For control you can feel, no matter what road you choose. BF Goodrich tires. Take control.
I don't know what my mother calls me more often, Jimmy or you must be hungry. At her table, there's always a helping of this, a taste of that, and you get as much as you want, which is how Olive Garden brings you their never-ending pasta bowl. Have Alfredo with penne, or how about bolognese meat sauce with fettuccine? You pick your homemade sauces, you pick your pastas, you get all you want. It's all delicious, and it's just $7.95. Tonight I'm having it with my brother. Mom calls him, did you eat yet? Olive Garden. When you're here, you're family.
Kansas State, Oklahoma, or Michigan State Northwestern next Saturday on ABC.
I want $50,000 in cash and a cold beer now.
You have ropes in your bedroom?
Tony, your crutch is vibrating.
Thieves premieres Friday at 9/8 Central on ABC.
Consumers Digest Best Buy. AAA's top pick. The most award-winning minivan on the planet. And now with 0% financing,
0 down and 0 payments for 90 days, Dodge Caravan is also one of the best values on the planet. See, compare, drive, Dodge during the Team Dodge sales event.
Just announced. Special 0% financing on America's favorite 2001 and 2002 Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs. Nothing beats 0% financing. Choose from America's favorite vehicles. Drive home a Ford car, truck, or SUV with 0% financing. Nothing beats 0%, and nothing beats the money you'll save. See your local Ford dealer today for this limited time offer.
Hard work has been a hallmark of the people here in Pennsylvania. But at times, Pennsylvanians have been injured on the job through no fault of their own. We at O'Malley & Langen are here to work hard for you to obtain the necessary benefits and resources for you and your family. Call us at our offices in Lackawanna, Luzerne, and Bradford counties at 1-800-817-2667.
Storm Tracker 16 Future Doppler, only on WNEP-TV, the news station.
Wisconsin leads at 12-0 over Penn State, and folks, the numbers from the first half are ugly. When's the last time you ever came and watched the Nittany Lion team, Gary? 0 of 5 converting third downs and only 1 yard rushing. What's going on here?
And there's another bad stat that we couldn't fit on there. 6 sacks in the first half, 4 by Wendell Bryant. Completely behind the 8 ball, and every time they've tried to make a move, it's been countered by Wisconsin. The 2 quarterbacks have hurt Penn State and kept them off balance. And this Wisconsin team before, remember they had a soft schedule. They'd come into the Big Ten. Now they're 1-2, but they look battle-tested to me.
Well, let me ask you. Do you think Penn State is short of players?
Yes.
Or do you think it's coaching?
What did you say?
A little of both, maybe?
Well, do I have to answer all these questions?
Well, it's just kind of stunning.
Well, right now, I think it's players. I think it's players that they don't have guys that make plays. And I think that that's tough to coach any guys. When you're playing a Wisconsin team that has faced tough competition and looks ready to play.
Well, here we go. And unlike the Fresno State game, the Badgers will have the first possession. Let's check in with Jack. Jack, what Barry have to say?
Well, Barry actually brought up that exact Fresno State game in the locker room. Brent, he said, fellas, since that game, we've talked about putting 4 quarters of good, consistent football together. He talked about it throughout the course of his conversation, and he ended with it, don't let this game become another Fresno State.
So that's the message that the Badgers and Alvarez bring out here, Gary, with a 12-point lead, and back in as their quarterback is number 5, Brooks Bollinger. And in the first half, he was 4 of 6 passing, and he rushed for 38 yards with 10 carries. Davis on that long handoff. What a fine-looking running back he is. First down, about 15 yards on the first carry of the second half.
Let's remember, this is a rebuilt offensive line for Wisconsin. And they're 2 deep, 5 offensive linemen. That means 10 players. They have 7 freshmen, no seniors. And look at this block right there. Look at that little crease, another block right there. And I'll tell you, that is gashing him. Shamar Finney, the middle linebacker there, looked to me like he ducked. Get in the hole and make a play.
Davis. And it took 2 Nittany Lions to bring him down.
That was
Number
Tom.
21, Finney, is the last one there.
Right, Tom Williams also. And Brent, you were led with it early in the game. 2 walk-on linebackers starting for Penn State. Linebacker U. 2 walk-ons playing here. Yes, they had an injury to Wake, one of their big heralded linebackers, but where is the depth? Where are the players that you know is going to happen in a Big Ten season? You're going to have more than 3 starters to survive.
Second down and 8. Here's what Bollinger loves to do. And he dances out to the 42-yard line that time. And here comes another 3rd down. And the Badgers have been lethal on 3rd down. Mayer making the stop.
So even though it's the spread offense, that's the play right there that Zach Kustok at Northwestern just burned the Big Ten with. Everybody's trying it. If you've got a quarterback that can run, You kind of fake the little draw play to the running back and follow the quarterback behind a pulled lineman. It's a design run play up the middle for the quarterback. It's almost like wing T back in the olden days.
Spread the field, line up in the gun. And throw to his tight end for a first down at midfield. Derek Tolles was there to defend Mark Anelli, who caught the touchdown pass from Bollinger.
Anelli that time did a great job of just running into Tolles. Tolles, we said, was a little undersized for a linebacker, matched up against Anelli, and he just kind of plowed into him, created his own space. And, you know, Bollinger is 5 for 7. His 2 incompletes, he threw the ball away. He is so efficient at quarterback.
Alvarez's offensive package, 2 tight ends, a run formation for the Badgers. And Bollinger going to throw from it. Got plenty of time, through long and out of bounds, incomplete. Came for Davis on the near side deep that time, and the Nittany Lions had their run defense ready with the 2 tight end formation that time, and the Badgers threw out of it.
Yeah, it was only a 2-man route that time. Evans went inside, and Davis ran what they call the wheel route, down to the flat and up the sideline, and it worked really well. Watch, Davis going to come out and then come out, and Bruce Branch, number 1, follows Evans. He's got outside third. See, that's a bust. He's got a free safety in the middle. A good throw would have been another big play.
Darren Charles back in as a 3rd wide receiver for the Badgers. And Bollinger in deep trouble. Loses a couple of yards.
See, that was a read play that time by Bollinger. He has the option of either handing that off to the running back, or if he feels that defensive end, who is unblocked, is going to follow the running back from behind, he can keep it. That time Bollinger guessed a little bit, should have handed the ball off, and they got a negative play.
Brian White sending in this 3rd down play, and the Badgers will need 11 yards now for a first down. They need to reach the Nittany Lion 40. This could be a big lift for Penn State. They need a stop on the first series here in the second half. Bollinger in trouble, and he's going to run for the first down. First down, Wisconsin. They let him out completely. Can you believe it? And here's what Alvarez has to say about Brooks Bollinger.
He's a gym rat. You know, I mean, if he's one of the first ones out there at practice, he's running around, he's throwing, he's catching, he's kicking. He's going to do everything. I can remember having him in camp. The thing that I liked about him was a long line of quarterbacks. He jumped in the receiver line. He just wants to be doing something. He loves to play.
And Berry never forgot that. He's used Bollinger as a receiver once on a pass from Evans on a throwback earlier in this game. But Gary,
we had to build
about the Nittany Lion defense letting Bollinger out on 3rd and long again?
It was just a 4-man rush. Gave him just enough space, and the athlete made the play.
This time it's Davis to daylight. Davis twists down to the 21-yard line. You know, I know some Badger fans were disappointed in a 1-2 start. Well, I'm going to tell you something, folks. This team is going to be a huge factor in a wide-open Big Ten race. As we take a look here at the snapshot on Anthony Davis. Remember the other Anthony? Well, he's wearing the same uniform number as AD did back in his glory days at USC. And look how athletic he is. Long jump, 21 feet. That means you're moving hard coming down that runway. And here is number 28, the new AD. 1st and 10 for the Badgers. Stretch to him, that quick step back and nothing doing. The Nittany Lions all over him. So Wisconsin scored a touchdown on its first possession of the game. And the Nittany Lions have been unable to generate any offense. They have only 19 total yards. Here's the touchdown pass. Bollinger to Anelli, and Davis has done the rest. He has rushed for 111 yards already in this game.
It's his second already, his second plus 100-yard this season for Davis. Just a freshman.
Second down. Short drop on the slant, and he hit Charles Charles out of Oshkosh, Wisconsin. Another freshman for a first and goal.
And this is a true freshman this time. Darren Charles, 6'10", high jumper in high school. Actually took a shot at 7 feet. He didn't make it, but 6'10's good enough. 6 foot 6 inches. Where's that slant pass for Penn State? Just a quick in and out, get it right there, and Bollinger makes it perfect.
And here's first and goal. Evans is your motion receiver, number 3. Bollinger's going to sprint in his direction. Got him underneath, and he underthrew him. He had Evans open inside the 5-yard line, and he underthrew him.
You know, I thought Evans got a little wide on the play because it was a zone coverage, and I think that's why Bollinger threw the ball short that time. Evans probably should have delayed longer and found the hole.
Got an injury update from Jackaroo. Jack?
Brent, this is the area of the field in the red zone that the Penn State defense could use the help of Michael Haynes, number 81. Their redshirt junior, but he is dehydrated. They're continuing to put fluids into Michael in hopes that he can return, but he's not out there now.
This is where you might see that quarterback draw again.
Instead they use Davis and Big Kennedy. Jimmy Kennedy from Yonkers, New York, makes a fine stop. He has been the outstanding Nittany Lion player today.
Yeah, it's easy to find the good ones. I mean, there's only a few. See, here's Kennedy right here to the outside, and that's who Bollinger's watching as he hands the ball off. He's going to be unblocked as he comes across right there, and that's who Kennedy actually was inside, made the play, but the outside guy, the defensive end, is unblocked. It was John Bronson. That's who Bollinger is reading to the outside of that formation.
Here's third and goal for Bollinger and the Badgers. In trouble. Kennedy can't get there. Now he does. Sacked back at the 20-yard line, and big number 73 collapses in again.
Jimmy Kennedy had a tackle for a loss on the play before, and then he gets the sack. Usually, when you're playing quarterback down here, this is not the worst place on the field to take a sack because you can still kick the field goal, so you hang in the pocket as long as you can. But in the trouble so far that Wisconsin's had getting field goals blocked, it may be a problem for Mike Allen.
Sorgi the holder.
There's Crenshaw right there, lined up.
No good. He missed it. And a huge roar from the Nittany Lion faithful. But can they do anything with it? Timeout.
Let the games begin. Millionaire Sports Edition continues. Layla Ali returns to the hot seat.
She be stinging. You like that, huh, Charles?
Monday Night Football is back. Washington versus Green Bay at legendary Lambeau. The toughest night out.